So just one last follow-up question or reiteration before we suspend. Mayor, once again, just for the record, si Jian Jiangguo ay parehong tao kay Angelito Guo at sila yung ama ninyo. Tama po.
Your Honor, ang ama ko po, yung Chinese name po niya Guo Jiangzhong.
Yes, yun yung sinabi ko. I
Opo.
apologize for my mispronunciation.
Opo.
So yung Chinese name ng ama nyo, si Guo Jiang.
Opo, Guo Jiangzhong.
Okay. Of course, you have the correct pronunciation. So he is the same person as Angelito Guo, and he is your father. Correct?
Opo.
Salamat, Mayor. So just briefly, by way of suspending, mga kaibigan, imbes na tapusin na sana natin itong mga pagdinig sa POGO, itong hearing ay mas lalong nagbukas pa ng mas maraming tanong. I have to confess, I am most alarmed by how opaque Mayor Alice Guo's answers have been, especially about her personal background. No school records from grade school to college or grade school to high school. No hospital records dahil ipinanganak sa bahay. Di masagot kung ang mga kapareho nilang address ay kamag-anak nila or hindi. At bilang public servants, gaya ng sinabi ko na kanina, transparency ang isa sa pinakamahalagang katangian. Kaya nakakadismaya talaga ang mga sagot nila. Ngayon pa na may mga documentary evidence linking the local chief executive to crime-infested POGO operations in her own town. POGO operations that we now know are possibly connected to hacking and surveillance activities. All of us can easily deduce what this might imply. Baka sa mga nanood sa ating hearing, baka may magtanong pa kung totoong Pilipino nga ba si Mayor? Baka may magtanong kung she really has a stake in her town's economic development and if she really has a stake in our country's national interest. O baka pa nga sa mga tagapanood, may maghinala na baka naman interes ng ibang bansa ang Patagon nilang isinusulong. And these are all serious questions we need clear answers to. But at least for now, isa ang maliwanag. Palayasin na ang mga POGO sa bansa. Kunin ko na rin ang oportunidad na manawagan kay Presidente na kung gusto nila talagang labanan ang mga krimen at banta sa ating pambansang seguridad, he will be well advised to ban POGOs now.
Naipakilala po sila sa previous administration po.
Yeah, pero dito sa document, klaro po kayo ang applicant in behalf of Ong Sheng.
Opo, Your Honor, pero hindi po ako yung pumunta po para mag-apply po.
Pero anong relationship niyo between you and Hong Sheng? Anong formal relationship po ninyo?
Your Honor, wala po kami relationship po.
Wala kayong formal relationship?
Wala po.
But yung resolution, nakasulat dito kayong applicant at binibigyan ng lono ang Hong Sheng, no?
Your Honor, ako lang po yung tumulong, ako lang po yung nagtulay na ipakilala po sila sa previous administration po.
That's your statement but the records say otherwise.
Opo, pero hindi po
Ito
talaga
po yung
po
formal document duly approved by the Sangguniang Pangbayan.
Opo, Your Honor, pero hindi po talaga po ako pumunta para mag-apply
Sige po. Anyways, iwan
Opo.
muna natin kasi ito yung formal records. Yun yung statement po ninyo.
Your Honor, sorry po. I think may minutes po dapat sila for that na wala po talaga po ako doon. Hindi po ako yung nag-apply po.
Hindi ko alam. Kung ako yung Sanggunian, bakit ko ho i-approve na kayo ang applicant? Ibig ho sabihin yung lahat ng Sanggunian ho, nagkamali ho sila?
Your Honor, during that time po, hindi pa po ako mayor po.
I know, hindi alam ko.
Opo.
This is year 2020.
Opo.
Correct.
Opo.
Hindi pa ho kayong mayor. So ang punto ko lang naman, in-approve to ng Sanggunian at alam ng mga Sanggunian members, kayo yung applicant. 'Di ba? Kung hindi ho kayo yung applicant, dapat tumayo ho isa diyan na sabi hindi ho siya yung applicant. 'Di ba? Anyways, yan po yung formal records. We'll move to another topic na gusto kong itanong. Nasabi niyo ho kanina na parte kayo ng Baofu.
Opo, Your Honor.
When you say parte, may-ari ho kayo ng Baofu?
Your Honor, ang sa akin lang po is the property lang po.
But in the articles of incorporation, part ho kayo ng incorporators.
Your Honor, opo.
Tama.
Opo.
Ilang percent po? This is prior to your divestment.
Opo, this is opo.
So gaano kalaki po ang ownership niyo sa Baofu?
Your Honor, yung property po, 50% po na sa akin po.
Anong ownership niyo sa Baofu? Yun ang simple question.
Ownership po.
Oo.
Ako po yung president po.
You're ang president kayo ng Baofu, pero
Opo,
yung ownership niyo sa Baofu, ilan ang pagmay-ari niyo sa Baofu?
Your Honor, nagumpisa po, explain ko lang po. Nagumpisa po, opo. Nagumpisa po kami sa joint venture lang po. Nung bago pa ako nag-divest, gusto po nila na mag-additional po, mag-expand po ng building. However po, wala po akong mailabas po na pera. Kaya,
But anong percentage ownership niyo sa Baofu?
50%
So
po.
50%. So you control 50% of the company. Tama?
Before po ako nag-divest po.
Oh, correct. So ngayon, I'm trying to put this together, no? Si Baofu is the landowner, tama?
Opo, Your Honor.
Si Hongsheng doon siya nakatayo sa Baofu?
Your Honor, si Hongsheng po, nagre-rent lang po kay Baofu po.
Nagre-rent. Sino may-ari ng building?
Yung pag-ari po ng building po, Baofu po.
Baofu ang nagpatayo lahat.
Opo.
Siya naglabas ng pera, siya kumuha ng contractor, siya nag-invest para magpatayo ng building na yon. Lahat ng nandoon si Baofu may-ari, correct?
Opo, Your Honor.
Si Hongsheng is just leasing kay Baofu,
Opo, Your Honor.
correct? So, ang tanong ko ngayon, bakit kayo nag-represent kay Hongsheng kung nagli-lease lang siya? Bakit hindi si Hongsheng ang dumiretso at kumuha ng lono?
Your Honor, that time po, nilapit ko po sila doon sa previous administration po. Hindi ko na rin po alam kung paano po nangyari po na naisama po yung pangalan ko po doon sa documents po. Pero
Okay.
hindi po talaga ako kasali po sa Hongsheng po.
Kasi marami dito sa resolution talagang pangalan nyo. In fact, in the resolution towards the end, nakasulat application of Miss Alice Go.
Your Honor,
Throughout the document, puro Alice yan. Ito. Throughout the document. So, ang punto ko, kung less or less ang relationship, paano kayo ang naging representative ng Hongsheng?
Your Honor, tinulungan ko lang po si Hongsheng po na ilapit po doon sa previous po na administration po at para po doon sa letter of no objection po nila.
Okay. So, babalik ako kay Baofu.
Opo.
So you're saying ngayon, nung kayo po ay 50% owner ng Baofu, lahat ng ipinatayo doon, can we show the buildings kanina? Madam Chair, with your indulgence and permission.
Yes, of course, Senator.
Oo. Yan. Yan. So lahat ho to. Lahat ng building na yan, the mall, the villa, the apartment buildings, the offices, pinatayo to lahat ng Baofu.
Your Honor, before po ako nag-divest po, hindi pa po siya ganun karami po.
So nung nag-divest nung 2022 before, no? Siya rin nagpatayo niyan. Ano yung mga nakatayo dito 2022 and before?
Wala pa po yung mga villa po eh. Foundation pa lang po halos.
Okay, correct. Pero meron ng mall,
Wala pa po.
meron ng apartment buildings,
As I believe so po, baka may structure na po.
meron ng offices. Obviously meron dahil andun
Opo,
si Hongsheng,
offices
diba?
po, sure
Correct.
po, meron po.
Magkano ang inilabas ni Baofu para ipatayo lahat itong mga struktura?
Your Honor, hindi ko na po alam kung magkano po nailabas po ni Baofu kasi
But-
yung sa akin po lupa lang po.
Yeah, but during your time, kasi 50% owner ka eh.
Ah,
Diba? You're supplied
Opo.
with the financial statements. You're supplied with the annual reports. So dapat alam mo kung magkano linalabas ng kumpanya, di ba?
Opo, Your Honor, ang naging usapan lang po namin dyan, isa akin po yung lupa. Sila na po nagpatayo po.
So hindi kayo hindi ko humingi ng annual reports or anything.
Hindi na po, Your Honor.
Okay, hindi magkano ang 'di ba may lessor-lessee relationship? Magkano ang upa?
Your Honor, bago po, after ko po nag-divest po, hindi ko na po
Yeah,
alam.
before.
Before po, Your Honor, hindi ko rin po alam po.
But you're a 50% owner.
Opo, sa akin lang po kasi yung lupa po.
Yeah, tama nga. So yung lupa, pero 50% owner ka ng kumpanya, nakikita sa upa,
Opo,
tama?
opo.
Na maglalabas ng pera para ipatayo yon dahil kailangan nyo kumita, magkano yung upa?
Your Honor, hindi po ako naglabas po ng pera po, kaya yung upa po, hindi rin po siya nakarating po sa akin.
So wala
Bago
ka
po.
nakukuha.
Wala po,
So
Your
linagay mo
Honor.
yung lupa pero wala how do you get your money back? Kung how do you get your return on investment?
After ko po mag-divest po, binayaran po nila sa akin po yung lupa po.
Hindi, pero nung una, ano yung usapan nyo nung una bago I'm talking about
Opo.
before the divestment.
Bago po nangyari po, bago po ako nag-divest po, Your Honor, wala pa po. Kasi nag-divest po ako 2021 po.
wala pang kita.
Wala pa po. Wala rin po sila minibigay po sa akin.
Anong usapan nyo kung paano ka kikita sa lease nila? Anong usapan nyo? As 50% owner, you have to remember 50% owner ka.
Opo.
Lahat ng kita nila papasok sa'yo kalahati. So anong usapan nyo?
Ang usapan po namin nung una po, Your Honor, magpapasok pa po ako ng pera. However po, hindi po ako nakapagpasok po ng pera. Kaya binenta ko na lang po yung lupa po sa kanila.
Pero wala kayong, ano yung usapan nyo doon sa, kasi nagli-lease eh, di ba? Magkano yung lease rate? Magkano kikitain every month? Magkano kikitain every year? How
Opo.
much are those?
Your Honor, nag-umpisa po yan mixed use. Ang usapan po kasi talaga namin siya nung unang-una po, mixed use po na development. Hindi po siya talaga pogo.
Hmm.
Tapos po, nung after po na lumaki na po yon at wala rin naman po akong pera na pwede po invest po dyan, nag-divest na po ako.
Oo, but prior to your divestment, magkano dapat ang kikitain mo?
Sa
Dito sa project na ito.
sa entire project po.
Yeah.
Your Honor, bago po ako po nag-divest, wala pa po kaming definite po na computation po.
Okay. So naglagay ka na lupa, kalahati sa iyo yung corporation pero hindi mo alam magkano kikitain mo.
Your Honor, ang contribution ko lang po is po yung lupa.
Yeah, I know. Pero
Opo.
dapat ma-recover mo rin lupa mo, 'di ba? Kahit paano.
Opo.
Oo.
After ko po mag-divest po, Your Honor, binayaran po nila sa akin po
Okay.
yung lupa.
Okay. So, ililipat naman ako. Paano mo nakilala itong mga investors, Chinese investors?
Nakilala ko po sila, Your Honor, sa Clark po.
How did you meet them? May nagpakilala, mayroong anong scenario nung nakilala mo itong mga
Opo.
Chinese investors?
Opo. Your Honor, nakilala ko po sila sa Clark kasi meron po sila mga restaurants po sa loob na po ng Clark. Binibentahan ko po sila supposedly binibentahan ko po sila ng karne po, baboy po.
Okay.
Doon po kami nag-umpisa na magkakilala po.
And then itong mga tinitignan ko itong mga incorporators, 3 out of the 5 are Chinese.
Opo.
Marunong ba sila mag-Tagalog?
Konti po.
Marunong ka mag-Chinese?
Konti din po.
Okay. And then,
Sen. Sherwin, if I may. Actually, Mayor, may impormasyon na fluent daw kayo sa Mandarin. Hindi lang konting marunong. Tama po ba?
Marunong po ako sa Mandarin po, Your Honor.
Saan po kayo natuto?
Natuto ko po sa tatay ko po.
Sa tatay nyo?
Opo, at saka sa mga nakakausap po. Tsaka self-study na rin po.
Homeschooled kayo pero natuto kayo
Opo.
sa ama ninyo at sa mga kausap nyo?
Opo.
Alright. Thank you, Sen. Sherwin.
thank you. And then, may nagpakilala ba sa'yo dito sa mga investors? How is it scenario? Is it, ano ba yan? May socials ba? Mayroong Sino nagpakilala sa iyo dito sa mga investors?
Your Honor, nakilala ko po sila sa restaurants din po nila. Tapos po binibentahan ko po sila ng baboy po kasi yun po yung negosyo ko po. Tapos doon na po nagumpisa po, Your Honor.
Okay, doon na nag-umpisa.
Opo.
And then I think yung advantage mo is you can communicate with them.
Yes po, isa
I would
na po
assume.
yun.
Oo, isa.
Opo.
Okay. And then how did you meet itong si Wang Jiyang?
Siya po yung may-ari po ng restaurant po.
Siya yung may-ari ng restaurant.
Opo.
Can we flash yung last slide? Last slide ng PAOK. Can we flash to muna? Itong incorporation papers. Yeah. Tinignan ko kasi itong incorporation papers ninyo and then meron isang Wang Jiyang, one of the incorporators na interestingly Cyprot, no? From Cyprus, no? Hindi, yung incorporation papers kanina. No, so na-curious ako kasi Chinese sounding name pero Cyprot yung kanyang nationality, no? Saan ba yun? There. Yan. So one of your partners is Huang Jiyang na Cyprot yung kanyang nationality. And I saw kanina in the presentation ng PAOK, si Wang Jiyang is a fugitive. Now, can we flash that yung sa PAOK? Yan. No? Na sabi rin kanina ni Dr. Casio is also hawak niya is 4 na passport. Isa diyan is 3 passports. Isa diyan is a Cyprus passport, no? So in other words, yung partner mo is a fugitive.
Your Honor, hindi ko po alam na fugitive po siya.
Oo.
Ngayon ko lang po nakita kanina po sa screen.
Okay. But this puts you in direct link and direct business, doing business with the fugitive.
Your Honor, hindi ko po alam na fugitive po siya.
Okay. And then kanina, sinabi mo na Baofu yung may-ari, nagpatayo lahat. And then we looked at the financial statements of Baofu. Can you flash this? Meron ba tayo nito? I-flash lang namin. Lumalabas yung kanyang capital is only 1.2 million. No? Ang asset niya is only, I'll flash it, no, but I'll dictate it for now. 1.2 million in asset, 0 liabilities, 1.2 in equity. So paano siya nagpatayo ng ganong kalaking building na ang equity niya is only 1.2 million?
Your Honor, hindi ko po alam.
But you own 50%.
Dun sa lupa po, yun po yung usapan po namin, Your Honor, na joint venture po, sa akin lang po yung lupa.
And then ang sales niya, ano yung sales? Mhm. See? And then when we looked at the sales, nasaan yung sales? Zero sales. I will flash it later, no? Zero sales. So, yan, Madam Chair, this is the asset. You mentioned earlier that lahat ng papatayo doon ay Baofu ang magpapatayo. And then next slide is the sales. Kikita siya sa lease. Pero pag titignan namin ng sales, wala naman siyang lease. No, lease rental. No, and then succeedingly hindi na siya nag-file ng GIS, no. So my point here is, Madam Chairman, is maraming red flags no. Number 1 is fugitive yung isang partner. Number 2, sa financial statements hindi naka-declare yung assets and hindi rin naka-declare yung kanyang sales, no. And then yung kaninang applicant, sinasabi nyo na hindi kayo yung applicant, but clearly Hongsheng is the the one granted by the letter of no objection on which kayo ang nag-apply noon, no? And then I have another question, no? Kilala niyo ba si Miss Telma Laranan? Do you know si Miss Telma Laranan?
Your Honor, hindi po.
Siya yung president ng Hongsheng. President, treasurer, chairman of Hongsheng.
Your Honor, hindi ko po
Hindi
siya
mo siya
kilala.
nakilala?
Hindi ko po siya
Sino
nakilala.
kausap mo sa Hongsheng? Kasi
Ang-
siya yung president, I would assume siya yung president. Siya yung chairman, siya yung treasurer. I would assume siya yung lalapit sa inyo para kumausap. So sino kausap niyo sa Hongsheng?
Your Honor, meron po isang Chinese, ang pangalan po niya ay Shi Chun Chan. Po dun sa Hongsheng, siya po yung lumapit po. At bilang incorporator po ng Baofu, tinulungan ko lang po sila na makilala po ng previous administration po.
Si Si Chun Chan.
Opo.
Wala dito sa incorporation ng papers ng Hongsheng eh. So never niyo nakausap si Telma Laranan.
Never po.
Okay, kasi nung chinek namin sa Google Earth at nag-check kami rin ng itsura ng bahay niya. And this is subject for validation, Madam Chair. Pakilabas nga yung picture ng bahay ni Telma. Ang registered address ni Telma is in number 128 Purok 2, Castillo, Concepcion, Tarlac. Yan, we nag-Google Earth kami and then we did the street view, the next slide. Ito yung bahay ni Telma, yun, 128. So ito yung nagli-lease doon sa Baofu buildings na renade nung 2013. So parang para sa akin pag tinignan ko Yusek Gilbert parang hindi yata papasa ito as pogo operator, no? But this is the owner of Hongsheng. The owner of Hongsheng lives here, si Telma Laranan. So never nyo nakausap si Telma Laranan.
Your Honor, hindi ko po siya kilala at
Oh.
never ko po siya
Ang
nakausap.
contact lang ninyo ay si Shishu Chan.
Opo.
Okay.
Siya po yung lumapit po sa akin, Your Honor. Pinakilala ko lang po siya sa previous administration po.
Okay. Anong position ni Shishu Chan sa Hongsheng?
Ang pinakilala po niya sa akin, siya po yung sa Hongsheng po. Nagpapatulong po na ilapit po sila sa previous administration po.
Yeah,
Ilang
but
po yung-
anong position niya doon? Is he the general manager? Anong position
Hindi
niya?
ko na po maalala po, Your Honor.
And then kanina na-mention ni Madam Chair si Walter Wong.
Opo.
Sino si Walter Wong?
Si Walter Ong po, lumapit po siya sa akin February 27 po yata this year. Yung last po napunta po niya sa akin sa opisina po. May pinapareceive po siya isang statement po na sinasabi po niya na wala pong nangyayaring torture at hindi po totoo yung mga allegations po.
He's connected to
Zuyan
Zuyan.
po. Opo.
He's connected to Zuyan. He's a general manager.
Opo,
Zuyan.
he's the general
At
manager.
kanina, Madam Chair, interestingly, yung pinakita niyong PLDT, can you flash? Hindi siya general manager ng Hongsheng, but general manager ng Zunyuan. Can we flash that? But general manager siya ng Hongsheng. So, si Walter Wong, is he working for both companies?
Your Honor, hindi ko po alam at dahil po hindi po ako involved po sa Pogo kaya hindi ko po talaga alam po, Your Honor.
Kasi dito ang representation niya is Hongsheng eh.
Your
So he's
Honor,
representing Zunyuan and in the papers, Hongsheng rin ang kanyang representation. Balik tayo.
Opo.
Yan.
Your Honor, hindi po ako involved po sa Pogo kaya hindi ko po din talaga po alam, Your Honor.
All right. But this person, Madam Chair, itong taong to is the connection between Hongsheng and Zunyuan because of this document. Yeah. So, Madam Chair, that's for all for now, and I'll just continue my questions as we go along.
Thank you, Sen. Sherwin. I have one more follow-up question kay Mayor. Pero, ma'am, napapansin nyo naman na kami po ni Sen. Sherwin and the chair are treating you with all due respect bilang katrabaho namin sa gobyerno. Pero napapansin po namin yung ibang mga sagot ninyo na batay sa dokumento o batay sa common sense, whether kaugnay ng pagiging representative nyo sa Hongsheng na nandun sa dokumento ng munisipyo ninyo bago kayo mayor, or yung fact na alam niyo yung detalye nung hog racing business nyo dati, pero hindi nyo masabi yung usaping kaperahan dito sa Baofu na higit na napakalaking pera or other matters na mukhang hindi accurate or hindi makatotohanan ng pagkasagot. So I would really request the good mayor, hindi lang dahil pare-pareho tayong nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno and usually we show each other mutual respect, pero dahil din nanumpa kayo kanina na you will tell the truth in this hearing, to please be more candid with the committee. Dahil you know bilang local chief executive na sa ganitong mga pagdinig dito man sa Senado or sa Municipal Council, we expect to tell each other the truth. So pakilang Mayor, no, a bit more candor than you have shown on some of the important questions so far. Kasi yung sinabi ni Sen. Sherwin kanina na ayaw natin na sino man ay, again, sabi din niya kanina, excuse the term, ginagago ang sino man, most of all tayo po dapat ay nagsasabi ng totoo sa isa't isa. So, a last couple of follow-up questions, Mayor. So, una, I need to ask, sa birth certificate po ninyo, yun pa, yung mga tanong kanina sa mga tao, birth certificate po ninyo, dalawa ang kapatid nyo at pangalawa kayo, middle child kayo, tama po? Your mic, ma'am.
Your Honor, ang alam ko po, isa lang po ako sa nanay ko po.
Okay, pero pag panghahawakan ko pa rin yung kopya namin ng birth certificate ninyo, di umano doon sa birth certificate, dalawa ang kapatid nyo at pangalawa kayo. Ano po yung pangalan ng mga kapatid nyo?
Your Honor, ako lang po mag-isa po sa nanay ko po.
Meron ba kayong mga kapatid o half-siblings sa ama ninyo?
Sa ama po na half-siblings po, meron po.
So ano pong mga pangalan ng mga half-siblings ninyo sa inyong ama?
Chinese po sila.
Ano mga pangalan po nila?
Guo Jianglong.
At ano pa yung isang pangalan?
Your Honor, yan po.
Isang pangalan lang po yun.
Opo, Your Honor, yan lang po.
And then yung isa pang pangalan ay?
Guo Jianglong.
So isang pangalan lang. So, ano yung pangalawa? Dun sa dalawang half-siblings nyo sa ama nyo?
Ang alam ko po, Your Honor, isa lang po siya.
Isa lang.
Opo, Your Honor.
Babae po ba o lalaki?
Lalaki po, Your Honor.
Siya ba si Seymen Go?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
O bagamat babae ito, siya ba si Sheila Go?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
So nasaan na po yung half-sibling nyong iyon sa ama ninyo?
May sariling family na po, Your Honor.
Andito ba sila sa Pilipinas?
Your Honor, sa ngayon po, wala po.
Nasaan po sila?
Ang alam ko po, nasa China po.
Sa China. Alright, Mayor. Yung ama po ba ninyo ay Chino rin?
Ang alam ko po sa tatay ko po ay half Chinese, half Filipino po.
Half Chinese, half Filipino. Okay po. Ngayon, ma'am, may ipa-flash po akong helicopter RP-C1902 na kulay metallic gray. Sa inyo po ba ito?
Metallic gray po, hindi po.
So may chopper kayong ibang kulay.
Your Honor, opo, pero naibenta ko na po.
Anong kulay nung chopper ninyo?
Your Honor, black po.
Black. Kanino po ibinenta?
Binenta ko na po sa isang British po na company po.
Anong pangalan po ng British company?
Your Honor, kunin ko lang po yung exact name po, ipaprovide ko po.
All right.
Opo.
So intayin po namin yon during this hearing. Actually,
Opo.
now that I look at it, metallic gray ba to or black ba to? Baka ito naman yung chopper nyo na ibinenta nyo sa British company. Mukhang metallic, mukhang itim na mukhang may pink stripes. Stripe?
Opo,
Ito
black
po ba ang
po.
chopper nyo?
Your Honor, black po siya.
Yes. Itong photo ay pwedeng magmukhang black din. Ito ba ang chopper nyo? Kung itim ito tapos may pink stripe, ito ba yung chopper nyo dati?
Opo, Your Honor, yan po yung chopper ko po dati.
Akala ko po, sabi nyo kanina, lalo na ngayon post-COVID, mababa ang kita sa hog racing kasi unstable, fluctuating ang prices dahil sa African swine flu. Pero nakabili kayo noon ng chopper?
Opo, Your Honor, before pandemic po.
So anong taon nyo ibinili yung dati nyong chopper?
Kung maalala ko po, Your Honor, bago po 2018 po.
So mga 2017.
Baka mga 2018, 2019 po. To-double check ko po sa record ko po dati po, Your
Right,
Honor.
salamat. At kailan nyo binenta sa British company?
Recently lang po.
Anong taon po?
This year po.
2024.
Opo.
Alright, salamat. So, dako naman po tayo sa mga tanong para sa PAGCOR. Yes, of course. Sen. Sherwin.
Madam Chair, just a quick interjection with your permission again. Just want to ask si Mayor Alice, may negosyo kayo sa Valenzuela?
Dati po, nung kabataan ko po, meron po yung magulang ko po sa Valenzuela po.
Okay. And then I saw in one of the incorporation papers, we'll just flash it, yung the same personalities na na-mention ni Madam Chair, sila Ali, ikaw no? Si Alice, si Tong Simen, Sheila, Jan Jongguo, Lin Wenyi. They're all meron silang residents sa Valenzuela, is that correct?
Your Honor, saan po sa
Yan, 58
Si Kanumay
Santiago.
po.
Malapit yan sa bahay namin actually.
Opo.
No? Kami 60 Santiago, ito 58. No? Sa bungad kami, ito sa dulo. No?
Opo.
So, same street kami. No? Same street. So, did you reside? Tumira ka ba sa Valenzuela?
Tumira po ako parang, kung di po ako magkakamali, 1 taon po.
Okay, dito sa address na ito.
52 Kanumay, ay 58, opo.
58. And then, itong negosyo is QJJ Embroidery Center Incorporated.
Opo.
So you were also in embroidery?
Yung magulang po.
Yung magulang mo sa
Opo.
embroidery. Okay. But interestingly, nung pina-check ko ito sa aming business permit section, walang ganyan na company in Valenzuela now and in the past.
Your Honor, ngayon po wala na po. Before po, hindi ko rin po alam kasi bata pa lang po ako nun.
Okay.
Opo.
Okay.
Pasensya na po.
Okay. And then, nung pina-check ko itong 58 T. Santiago, itong address is exactly the same address kung saan isa sa mga kaibigan namin nakatira doon. So, kilala ko, in other words, kilala ko yung may-ari nito, yung Baile family.
Opo.
No? So, were you leasing with them? Ano bang relationship niyo with them?
Your Honor, hindi ko na po alam kasi bata pa lang po ako nun.
How old were you nung tumira ka doon? More or less?
Teenage life po.
Mga teenage, within what
Opo.
age to what age?
Hindi ko na po masyado maalala po, Your Honor.
Okay, teenage. But do you know this family, yung Baile family? Do you know them?
Ano pong family po, Your Honor?
Ang last name nila Bayle. Bayle, B-A-Y-L-E.
Hindi ko po
Hindi nyo
maalala
alam.
po. Opo.
Oo, hindi kayo umuupa doon sa kanila or?
Hindi ko na po maalala po, Your Honor.
Okay, sige.
Opo.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Sen. Sherwin. Kung maaari ko ring mag-follow-up question dun sa document na iyon, pwedeng ipakita ulit yung dokumento ng embroidery company. Salamat. Ayan, Mayor, di tulad sa pinakita ko po kaninang GIS na nandun sina si Seymen Go at Sheila Guo na may middle initial na L, dito Leal. Pareho nung sa inyo. So, kayo dito, Alice Leal Guo, sila Seymen Leal Guo, at Sheila Leal Guo. Eksaktong parehong pangalan at parehong ang address. So, sino po silang dalawa batay sa dokumentong ito?
Opo, Your Honor, hindi ko po alam po.
Just saying, Mayor, mukhang hindi nyo po pinagbibigyan yung hiling ng chair kanina. Sino naman yung Jan Zhongguo? Siya ba yung binanggit ninyo kaninang sabi nyo nag-iisang kapatid nyo, half-sibling sa ama?
Hindi po.
Sino po siya?
Yan po yung Chinese name po ng tatay ko po.
Sila yon. Sila
Opo.
yung ama nyo. Si
Opo.
Jan Zhongguo.
Opo.
Ano ulit yung Filipino name nila nandito sa notes ko? Ano po yung Filipino name ng ama nyo?
Angelito Go po.
Angelito. Okay. So dun sa isang ipinakita ko pang dokumento kanina, kaugnay yung GIS ng meat shop. So yung Jan Zhongguo doon ay ama nyo.
Dun po, Your Honor, sorry po.
Kanina may pinakita akong GIS ng meat shop ninyo na nandun yung Jan Zhongguo. So ama ninyo tulad dito.
Chinese name po
Chinese name
Opo.
nila na Filipino name Angelito Guo. At yung Lin Wen Yi, kanina pinakita ko nasa GIS ng meat shop. Siya rin po kasama dito sa papel naman ng embroidery company. Sino naman po si Lin Wen Yi?
Your Honor, hindi ko po siya kilala po.
Salamat. Dako naman po tayo sa mga tanong sa PAGCOR. Sino pong magsasalita para sa PAGCOR? Kayong dalawa po. Okay, Attorney Jessa Maris at Retired General Villanueva. So, ma'am and sir, batay din po sa presentation kanina or related sa presentation kanina ng PAOK, it would seem that at least 7 previously canceled IGLs were found to have some evidence of operation in the Baofu compound. So ano po ba ang policy ng PAGCOR sa mga canceled IGLs o mga POGO na ito?
Supposedly, ma'am, once na-cancel po lahat po ng na-cancel po ang license or accreditation po ng licensee at ng accredited service provider, they should stop operating po and they should cancel everything that is related po to offshore gaming operations.
But kanina po sa pagsasalita, well, primarily ni Mayor Guo, yung Hongsheng na cancelan di umano ninyo pero inisyuhan nyo ng provisional license. And then yung Zunyuan, unang lumapit sa kanila sa Office of the Mayor sa Bamban, may provisional license din. So kung ang policy po ninyo once canceled, they should stop operating, everything else related to that is canceled, bakit may isang Hongsheng halimbawa inisyuhan nyo naman ng provisional license, and perhaps even with or without that, as late as November last year, may ebidensya po kami na patuloy naman siyang nag-ooperate.
So we would like to clarify po that we did not issue a provisional license po to Hongsheng. We issued po a provisional license po to Zunian Technology po.
So,
I think baka po na-confuse lang po siya tungkol po dun sa Hongsheng po.
sino pong na-confuse?
Nung nabanggit po ni Mayor na may provisional license po si Hongsheng.
Parang hindi po sila na-confuse kasi magkahiwalay na pagbanggit ni Mayor dun sa provisional license ng Hongsheng at yung provisional license na dala ni Mr. Walter Wong ng Sunyuan. Kasi ang pagkasabi ni Mayor kanina, correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, nung makancel yung license ng Hongsheng, tapos ano ba yun, nag-investigation sila, umabot sa korte, pero apparently nagpatuloy ng operation ng Hongsheng on the strength of a provisional license supposedly issued by PAGCOR. Hiwalay pa yung pagbanggit nila na nung lumapit sa kanila si Walter Wong at nagpakilalong general manager ng Yunzuan na may na may provisional license sila galing sa PAGCOR. So kung hindi kayo nag-issue ng provisional license sa Hongsheng after nyo kinancel yung actual license nila, saan nila nakuha yung provisional license na yon?
Wala po kaming idea, ma'am, but definitely po we did not issue a provisional license in favor of Hongsheng Gaming Technology.
So mukhang ang problema natin ay hindi lamang mga Philippine passports and birth certificates na ginagamit ng mga Chino sa Bangkok or dito sa Pilipinas, pati po mga di umanong PAGCOR provisional license na ginagamit ng mga kinanselan nyo na mga POGO. So sa pagkaalam nyo ba, yung policy nyo nasusunod ng mga nakakanselan nyo na mga IGL, talagang lahat po silang kinanselan nyo ng IGL ay tumigil na sa pag-operate?
I think, ma'am, based on the investigations being conducted din po by our security and monitoring cluster together with the law enforcement agencies, we have found po that there are still companies operating despite the cancellation of their licenses po.
Kanina nga po nabanggit ng PAOK na of the 250 or so POGOs holding licenses from PAGCOR, may 200 na po kayong nakanselan. What's the exact number ng nakanselan? At sa mga nakanselan yung iyon, ilan ang nagko-comply sa cancellation at ilan ang nag-ooperate pa rin?
During the peak of the Philippine offshore gaming operations, we had the most of 298. Right now po, we have a total of 84. But I cannot give you po the exact number kung sino po talaga yung nagko-comply or hindi dun sa cancellation. But meron po kaming validation na ginawa and we can provide po kung sino po yung mga nakita po na nag-comply na with the cancellation.
Salamat po. 298 na dating na-issuehan ng license. Yung 84 po ay nakanselan or yung still operating?
Still operating, ma'am.
Ibig sabihin 214 more or less ang nakanselan nyo.
Yes, ma'am. And more po because sa tuloy-tuloy din po kasi yung meron pong nag-a-apply, meron pong nagka-cancel. So at its peak lang po noong 2019, we had the most number of licensees po na 298.
So presuming na constant yung number, yung 214 na na-cancel, vina-validate nyo pa kung ilan sila ang tumigil talaga ng operation or may bilang na po kayo ng mga sumusunod? Yes, General Villanueva.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. We've been monitoring yung mga supposed to be canceled POGO na, sir, ma'am. But unfortunately, pag nag-inspect kami, ma'am, minsan kasama ako sa inspection, ma'am. Tinataboy kami ng security guard kasi ang sinasabi sa amin, canceled na to, ibang company nitong naka ano dito. So we asked the help of the LGUs. Actually, we wrote one LGU to asking for their assistance, but parang wala naman nangyari, ma'am. Kaya nagpapatulong kami sa mga ma'am, sa mga law enforcement agencies to assist us in inspecting this canceled POGO. ang balita ko, ma'am, sa Makati marami.
Tinataboy kayo ng mga security guard.
Security. Kasi ang paliwanag nila, bagong company na to, at wala kayong power na para mag-inspect. Kasi kinancelled na nga tapos bago na daw yung nag-o-occupy na company. Yun ang palaging nila, ma'am, rason.
Pero yung mga dating kumpanya na kinanselan nyo ng lisensya at kahit yung mga di umanong bagong kumpanya, hindi naman sila makakapag-operate without the license from PAGCOR. Wala silang karapatang itaboy kayo. Kayo ang may say. Kung mag-ooperate pa rin sila or hindi na sila mag-ooperate.
Madam Chair,
Yes, General.
nagpalit po ng mga pangalan to yung iba. Pero may signature pa rin ng mga dating company, ma'am. Kaya nire-report namin yan, ma'am. In fact, we were able to report 155 reports to the different agencies. And we coordinated. I'm in the loophole, ma'am, with the intelligence community. Yung sa Hongsheng, ma'am, yung sa Sunyuan, mas malalim pa po yung alam ko doon. Maybe I can share with you in an executive session because I don't want to jeopardize the operation of all those who are helping us right now. I've been with the intelligence organization for 23 years. So marami po akong kaibigan sa police, sa NICA, sa ISAP. So but yung sa PAOK, yan ang palaging tumutulong po sa amin, ma'am. And kasama din namin sila sa mga and sila yung nagko-confirm talaga yung mga targets. And that's why pag may mga raids, ma'am, ini-inform kami talaga nila ng PAOK, ma'am.
Salamat, General. The committee may take you up on your offer of that executive session. Pero time check lang po, dear colleagues, it's 1:17 and Chair's hoping to suspend by 1:30. So, but Sen. Sherwin and I will ask our maybe last few questions for this hearing in the next quarter hour. So to continue with PAGCOR, when a POGO is cancelled or POGO license is cancelled, ano pong nangyayari sa mga foreign nationals na employed sa enterprise na yun?
Ma'am, we see patterns like Hongsheng, ma'am. A lot of these foreigners, they just we monitor them in Cagayan or in the Northern Luzon. Parang umiikot sila, ma'am, sa mga ibang lalo na yung mga illegal or mga canceled pogos na. Parang umiikot sila. Like for example, ma'am, yung last April 2, I was involved in a raid together with CIDG in multinational subdivision, ma'am, Parañaque. At 2:37, we raided the place, rescued 9 Filipinas laborers na hindi pinapaswelduhan and arrested 9 Chinese. Sabi nila parang high value individuals daw to kasi may bodyguard, ma'am eh. May bodyguard siya na Pilipino. In fact, nakuhanan pa namin ng baril, ma'am. 2 baril. And nagsisinungaling pa nga sa akin, ma'am, pero ako rin nakahuli nung baril niya. Kasi alam ko nagsisinungaling siya sa akin. So, nakita namin na itong mga to, galing din sa mga dating, ito yung mga spillover, ma'am. Kaya nga, yung suggestion ko sa mga law enforcement, mas magandang i-read na lang to para ma-deport. Kesa i-cancel natin yung lisensya lang nila, tapos mag-spread out sila, ma'am eh. Mag-spread out sila eh. So, sabi ko nga, kaya itong sa Sunyuan, as early as July 2023, may report na kami sa PAOK niyan, ma'am. They received it on 10 July 2023. And then I coordinated with the mga intelligence organization. Doon ko nalaman na parang may dynamics talaga tong mga to. Mga dynamics. Parang umiikot lang sila. But regarding yung mga legal talagang IGLs, as against yung mga illegal. Mas maraming illegal, ma'am, na mga guerrilla operations. Yung mga guerrilla type operation pala. And may mga patterns na sila. And these are itong mga high value individuals ma'am na nakita sa Parañaque, parang related siya, no, doon sa Sunyuan. Ito yung isa ng mga nakatakas. That's why I'm requesting PAOK yesterday, ma'am. Baka ma-identify nila yung mga hinahanap nilang individuals. And nasa kulungan po ngayon ng CIDG. So, maraming tumutulong sa amin ngayon, ma'am, because we're desperate actually to read out illegal gambling, illegal pogo. Or yan, ang pogo nga sa amin, ma'am, pag sinabi namin pogo, illegal yan. Pag sinabi namin pogo, that is illegal. And they should be busted or to be raided. Kasi pag ika-cancel lang namin yung mga ganun, ma'am, mas maganda kasi nag-spread out sila all over the Philippines. In fact, we have numerous targets in the Visayas. Mas madami din to. And I'm very optimistic with the help of a lot of law enforcement agencies. And medyo nagiging close na nga ako sa kanila, ma'am, kasi sa dami ng pangungulit ko din sa kanila. And of course, even DOJ, we even requested some assistance from DOJ on human trafficking. We're doing our best, ma'am, to the best of our ability. And may shortcomings lang kami because yung mga tao ko naman, hindi naman ganun ka galing na inspectors na parang police siyang maghanap. In fact, ako nahirapan din ako maghanap dun sa compound, ma'am, nung Baofu. Kasi
Thank you, General.
napaka-elaborate, ma'am, yung nila cover nila doon.
Salamat po. We'll be asking follow-up questions about that perhaps at the next hearing. Pero madako lang sa Bureau of Immigration sino pong magsasalita for BI? Yes, sir. Again, Attorney Santos, Chief Santos. Just a follow-up question. Many foreign nationals have been discovered with expired work visas. So ano yung nagiging policy ng Bureau of Immigration sa ganyang scenario?
For those involved in POGOs, as long as the PAGCOR has informed us, ma'am, we issue an order for them to leave the Philippines and include them in the blacklist. In case of non-compliance, it will be already for deportation. It can be a ground for deportation.
Salamat. So we'll probably have to follow that up also in terms of implementation kasi gaya ng sinasabi din ni Retired General Villanueva, kanselan man nila yung lisensya, IGL, and supposedly ang isang epekto nun yung OGL, yung Online Gaming Employment License ng mga foreign nationals automatically canceled. Pero parang may lumalabas na pattern, nagre-recycle lang sila. So there may be a number na kailangan talagang i-facilitate yung pag-uwi nila, failing that, deportation procedures. So, salamat po. Yes, please, Sen. Sherwin.
Sir, can I continue some questions to PAGCOR? I think yung pinakamalaking elephant in the room was the issue of PAGCOR, may office doon sa Hongsheng. In fact, napuntahan namin yan nung nag-inspect kami ng chairperson. And nakita ko talaga, may PAGCOR office doon. Sa kabilang banda, natuwa ko dahil at least hindi na kayo mag-i-inspect dahil nandun na kayo. Sa kabilang banda, anong nangyari? Merong kayong opisina doon, pero mangyari pa rin to. So my first question is, ilang tao po ang naka-assign doon sa office na yon? At ano yung kanilang responsibilidad?
Yung office namin po doon doon po, sir, we started it in November 9, 2023 because we consider Sun Yuan as a high-risk IGL. There are about 14 high-risk IGLs na minomonitor po namin ngayon. Ngayon, pag high-risk siya, sir, Madam Chair, naglalagay kami ng 24/7 duty. So, may mga reports na rin kami natanggap during the time. Sa early July nga, kaya naglagay kami ng office dyan. And ang shifting niyan, sir, every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. So, nagpapalit-palit yung mga tao dyan. Nagpapalit-palit yung mga tao namin dyan. Hindi yung isang team, hindi niya nakakasama yung mga team members niya the next time around. Kasi sinachapol namin mabuti. Because we believe that for every group, there will always be good souls. No? There will be always good souls who will report to us the true nature of the Sunyuan. So may mga lately, ma'am, sir, we reported already this to the OGLD, and the OGLD were supposed to issue yung mga show cause. Marami yun, sir. In fact, gusto pa namin lunurin sila sa fines para mag-close down sila eh. Kasi yung pinakamababa namin fine yata is $10,000. Just like 2023, marami tayong na-fine talaga. Ito naman yung mga violations na usually like, for example, hindi pinapasok yung PMT namin. Ano yun? Malaking fine na yun, sir. So, yung kung makikita nyo, sir, ang binabantayan lang ng mga nung PMT namin is that building na naandun yung second, third, and fourth kung saan yung mga nakaregister mismo dun sa PAGCOR. So, ang problema nun, sir, yung mga adjoining buildings, hindi na namin ma-inspect, may mga bakod. Kasi BOFO na yun, sir eh. Yung building lang ng Sunyuan na may second, third, and fourth, yun lang ang talagang binabantayan namin. Kasi wala na rin kaming access doon sa mga villas, doon sa mga construction site, yung mga bodega nila. So parang wala na rin kaming jurisdiction doon, sir. That's why I'm asking the law enforcement. Sabi ko, i-read na natin to once and for all kung talagang para ma-deport natin yan. Kasi pag ika-cancel din lang namin, sir, mauulit-uli yung sa Hongsheng, pupunta na naman ng Northern Luzon yan, which is wala na kaming jurisdiction because under na siya ng CESA. So yun ang namin, may symbiotic relationship sila between yung nasa norte at saka yung naandito sa Central Luzon. So yun nakikita po namin, Mr. Senator.
General, actually mas dumami yung aking katanungan. Anong definition ng high risk in your is that term high risk in your manual? Is that in your manual?
For the framework, sir.
Is that in the framework? So I would assume you are now creating what we call a risk profile.
Yes, sir.
Tama? Is that written?
It's not in our in the internet gaming regulations, but they are developing po the monitoring and enforcement regulations wherein they are classifying the licensees based on the manifestations or risks po na pinopost
So
niya.
there's no formal document classifying
Yes,
focus
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. There's
on
no
a risk
formal document.
basis.
Yes.
Pangalawa, sino nagde-decide kung high risk ka, low risk ka, medium risk ka?
Our department and the compliance monitoring and enforcement department agrees po kung we think that this licensee is high risk or medium risk or low risk. It depends po on different factors such as the equipment po that they use in their operations, the type of operations po that they are currently doing, if they have been in violation in the past, or kung meron po silang mga mas marami po silang employees or kung meron na pong mga na-report po na activities na bago or haven't been observed in the past in their operations po.
There's no formal document classifying the risk, classifying POGOs based on the risk. Walang formal document. Pangalawa, there's no formal procedure in the classification. Kumbaga, pinag-uusapan nyo na lang. Tama po ba?
We have an internal list po, but we don't have yet the formal procedure on how we determine
At
po yun.
pangatlong tanong ko, alam na pala ninyo high risk, ba't tinuloy?
Sir, as explained po kanina ni General RV, gusto rin po namin kasi na maalis na rin po yung mga ganong klaseng companies. We also want po na hindi na rin po kumalat yung ganitong activities. It's also part of the long haul operation po eh. Kasi sir, when they applied, we base our recommendation on the submitted documents, submitted documentary requirements, everything that they have to comply. But later on, makikita na lang po whether or not they're complying with the regulations based on their operations. And then we issue enforcement actions such as show cause orders, notices of demerits, as well as fines and penalties if based on our manual, meron po silang violations. At the same time, we also send reports to law enforcement agencies for validation of the observations of our PAGCOR monitoring team. Because we admit that our PAGCOR monitoring team are not trained law enforcement agents. Wala po silang kakayanan na ma-determine ito ba ay ganito or ito ba ay dapat ng ganito. So we ask the help of the law enforcement agencies para po tuluyan na po na matugunan kung ano man po yung problem.
Sana parang common sense eh. If it's high risk, we should have shut down the facility. Diba? Wag na nating, alam ko yung sinasabi ni General, nakakalat sila. Diba? I get that point. But at the same time, by allowing them to operate, tuloy-tuloy yung kanilang human trafficking, tuloy-tuloy yung kanilang scamming, tuloy-tuloy yung kanilang torture. Diba? So with that mentality, nagtuloy-tuloy sila. No?
However, sir, kasi po, kagaya po, binabantayan namin yung 2, 3, 4. Hindi naman po doon nakita yung mga actual scamming activities. So, wala pa pong nakita doon na
I think that's wrong. Based sa report ng PAOK, doon nga yung basis ng search warrant nila eh. The search warrant is in floor 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Tama mo ba?
The search warrant, sir, is for the whole compound.
But yung na-discover yung may problema is 3rd, tama ba? 2nd, 3rd, 4th?
Meron din po doon, but yung mas marami, sir, yun sa may warehouse.
But meron din doon. That's the one we went to, di ba? Sinamahan nyo kami ni chairperson doon sa building, tapos nakita namin, may picture pa nga eh, nakita namin may notebook, di ba? Nakita natin yung mga kalat-kalat pa yung gamit. Correct. So in other words, present yung scamming in floors 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's what we inspected eh. We saw it with our own eyes kasi kalat-kalat pa yung mga gamit nila eh. So the question is, kung merong PAGCOR employee doon, 24/7, bakit nakalusot to sa kanila? And then second, naimbestigahan ba itong mga empleyado? Maganda nga, nagpapalit-palit tayo. Pero kalaban natin dito, mga marunong maglagay at marunong manuhol. Kahit magpalit-palit tayo dyan ng 1,000, kung magaling sila manuhol, wala rin eh. Did we investigate all of these people? Yung mga empleyado ho ninyo? Hindi naman porket nagpalit-palit sila eh, wala silang culpability.
Yes, sir. I'm monitoring them, sir. But as early as July, we submitted already a report to the law enforcement agencies. Maybe they should have acted it on also.
Madam
That's why
Chair.
we're asking the help of the law enforcement agency, sir.
if I may
Sen.
po.
Sherwin, with your indulgence, Dr. Casio, you'd like to interject
Senator,
briefly, please.
I concur with the statement by the good general. As early as July of last year, they submitted a report to the commission. We received that and we've been evaluating that. Unfortunately, up until that time, we could not find a complainant who would satisfy our application for the warrant. And it became fortunate for us on February 25 when we found one complainant and we got a letter from the Malaysian embassy, and that necessitated our action.
Would suggest that since you already started yung risk profiling, pag high risk, wag na natin i-operate yan dahil nagtuloy-tuloy yung torture, tuloy-tuloy. Buti nga meron lumabas na nag-complain. Kung hindi nag-complain yan, hindi natin alam, baka ilang taon na nag-ooperate yan tapos ang daming human traffic at maraming natu-torture. And then there's another issue, Madam Chair, with your permission. No? You mentioned earlier that si Zun Yuan was given provisional authority. I think, when was that, attorney? When was it given?
Based on their application po, October 28, 2023 po.
2023. My question is, mayroon ba sa guidelines nyo issuance of provisional license? Is that part of your guidelines?
Yes, sir. When we changed po our regulatory framework, we also issued po, the Packer Board of Directors po approved the issuance of provisional
Yeah,
licenses.
but is it in your guidelines na you can apply for a provisional license?
No po, it has become the prerogative of the board po na instead of granting a regular license, they are granting po muna a provisional license with a short period while the probity check is undergoing.
Correct. So there's nothing in your guidelines describes the process of issuing provisional licenses.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So that animal is only created by the board.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ano ang minimum capitalization under your new guidelines?
Under the new guidelines po, 100 million pesos po.
Correct. And by the time nag-apply si Zun Yuan, anong capitalization?
Nasa 15 or 10 million pesos po.
Ang kanyang capitalization at the time when they applied is 25.
Sorry, sir. Okay.
So pasok ba siya o hindi?
When it applied po, hindi pa po siya pasok dun sa IGL requirements.
Correct.
Yes. Just to disclose po to this body, the Zunyan po was formerly a service provider under a POGO licensee.
That's the point. There's no such thing as provisional license. That's number one. Number two, by the time they applied, hindi siya pasok sa minimum qualification ninyo of capitalization. Correct, attorney?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Tapos high risk pa siya. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Bakit natin pinayagan mag-operate?
Actually, sir, when we gave po the provisional license, they are still undergoing vetting po or the probity check. Kasi po, diba, as we have explained
But
in
that provisional license created problems. They're not qualified in regards to capitalization. There's no such thing as provisional. Dapat simple lang eh. Approve or disapprove. If you have the qualification, approve. Anong nangyari? Hindi sila qualified, binigyan natin ng provision. Nag-operate sila ngayon. High risk pa. That's number one. And then number two, you also mentioned probity. I showed earlier a picture of That is the president of Hongsheng, which is a duly licensed Pogo licensee. Kanina yung COMSEC namin, pumunta sila kagabi 10 p.m. no COMSEC kay Jemeline Cruz, nowhere to be found, no such address. And in your guidelines, in rule number 9, regulation number 9, section 3, kasama dito yung probity check. So what happened? May probity check pero fake address. Hindi kasama sa capitalization, hindi pasado. And yet, pinayagan natin mag-operate. And then discover pa, high risk. So in other words, all of these scenarios are already red flags for them not to operate. That's my point. There's no go signal for them to operate. Everything is a red flag. Bakit pa natin pinayagan mag-operate?
I think kasi sir, the totality of what you have mentioned po happened through time. So during the grant of the provisional license, there was no indications yet of these characterizations. So that's the reason po why they were still given a provisional license.
But I think when they cannot fulfill the capitalization, that's already a no-go.
They are during the process po, during the grant of the provisional license, they have been able to complete po, or they have been able to submit to us the approval of their increase of capital stock of 100 million.
Not on the records. And you said kanina, by the time they applied, hindi pa sila fulfilled in capitalization. So in other words, dapat bumalik sila sa inyo, tapos na yung kanilang increase in capitalization. So my point is we're violating our own guidelines. That's my point. And because we're violating our own guidelines, nangyayari itong mga krimen na ito. So my suggestion to PAGCOR, kung itutuloy nyo ito, let's stick to our guidelines. But like I said in my opening statement, after all of these things, kami nga ni General Villanueva madalas nakikita sa ganito, dapat itigil na itong kalokohan na ito. Kung hindi matatapos tong hearing natin, parati tayo magkikita, Attorney Manahan and General Villanueva, parati tayo magtatalo dito. Because hindi natatapos to. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Sen. Sherwin. I'd like to now ask a couple of questions to the UNODC. Thank you so much for waiting almost 4 hours. I know you traveled here from Bangkok. Mr. Wojcik, is that the correct pronunciation?
Yes, Senator. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Just a couple of questions, and if you could address them briefly, but perhaps submit in writing to the committee any fuller response in the interest of time, but with appreciation for your presence here and your patience. First, could you give us a sense of the scale of the problem, especially where the Philippines is in comparison with our regional counterparts?
Thank you very much, Senator, and it's a great pleasure to be here with this body to be able to provide some insights into this regional issue. First and foremost, just quickly, for my own sake, let me first state that I'm here in my capacity representing the UNODC as a organized crime and threat monitoring analyst, focusing across the region on this issue. With respect to the scale, it's quite clear that these interconnected transnational organized crime groups are not merely targeting the Philippines, they are targeting other jurisdictions across the region. Casinos and increasingly online casinos, crypto integrated casinos, and primarily under-regulated or illegal operators have quite clearly driven some large challenges in the organized crime space. With respect to the scale of the problem, we're quite obviously speaking about a multi-billion-dollar criminal industry across the region, taken together. And with respect to the question on the comparison, I think it's difficult to say. Obviously, the enforcement action by many of our partners here today proves that there are considerable challenges within the jurisdiction in the Philippines. But to say that they, to be able to compare between those that are particularly acute in the Mekong region, for instance, would be difficult to say. I think the problems are different. They are diverse, especially in the context of a regulated jurisdiction such as the Philippines. There's different infrastructure to target for organized crime, and they operate differently between jurisdictions. With that said, I would say that the Mekong, specifically the countries in the Mekong region, are of a particular focus for organized crime groups. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving us in broad but already quite eye-opening strokes the response to that first issue, and we'd really appreciate even more detail in writing after today's hearing. And though you said it's hard to compare us with other countries, perhaps the Philippines is a peculiar case, given where we are in terms of the geopolitical dynamics and current tensions in the West Philippine Sea. But are there also national security dimensions cropping up in your investigation of transnational crime and scam complexes in other jurisdictions as well?
Thank you for your question, Senator. I would answer that by saying that in any case in which large, agile, sophisticated organized crime groups are
operations such as here in Bamban, Tarlac, in the Philippines, as we've discussed it so far anyway, would also catch your attention.
They certainly do, and they certainly have. I believe that we've shared, my office has shared with your team our latest threat analysis, of which the Philippines do feature among many other countries.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you for your participation in person in today's hearing.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Sen. Sherwin, I'm about to ask just one last question for today and then suspend unless you have any other questions for today.
Madam Chair, no questions, but would like to request the committee through the good chairperson to invite some critical personalities who can help us analyze the situation. There were personalities mentioned throughout the course of the hearing. May I request the committee to invite, number one, Mr. Walter Wong. I think he was in the presentation earlier. He's the link between allegedly he's the link between Hong Sheng and Jun Yuan. And then we also want to request the committee to invite Mr. Shi Shu Chan. I think it was mentioned by the good mayor earlier that he is the contact person for Hong Sheng. And then also, I came across this article, Madam Chair, in Rappler, wherein a certain Jonathan Mendoza, who claims to be the spokesman of Jun Yuan, if the addresses of the incorporators are bogus, at least this Mr. Jonathan Mendoza is a real person, no? Because he was interviewed by Rappler. So may I request the good committee to invite Mr. Jonathan Mendoza, because he gave statements to Rappler in regards to this issue. He is the supposed spokesman for Jun Yuan. So thank you.
Thank you, Sen. Sherwin. COMSEC, please comply. Invite to the next hearing Mr. Wong, Shi Shu Chan, and Mr. Mendoza. So just one last follow-up question or reiteration before we suspend. Mayor, once again, just for the record, si Jian Jiangguo ay parehong tao kay Angelito Guo at sila yung ama ninyo. Tama po.
Your Honor, ang ama ko po, yung Chinese name po niya Guo Jiangzhong.
Yes, yun yung sinabi ko. I
Opo.
apologize for my mispronunciation.
Opo.
So yung Chinese name ng ama nyo, si Guo Jiang.
Opo, Guo Jiangzhong.
Okay.
Opo.
Of course, you have the correct pronunciation. So he is the same person as Angelito Guo, and he is your father. Correct?
Opo.
Salamat, Mayor. So just briefly, by way of suspending, mga kaibigan, imbes na tapusin na sana natin itong mga pagdinig sa POGO, itong hearing ay mas lalong nagbukas pa ng mas maraming tanong. I have to confess, I am most alarmed by how opaque Mayor Alice Guo's answers have been, especially about her personal background. No school records from grade school to college or grade school to high school. No hospital records dahil ipinanganak sa bahay. Di masagot kung ang mga kapareho nilang address ay kamag-anak nila or hindi. At bilang public servants, gaya ng sinabi ko na kanina, transparency ang isa sa pinakamahalagang katangian. Kaya nakakadismaya talaga ang mga sagot nila. Ngayon pa na may mga documentary evidence linking the local chief executive to crime-infested POGO operations in her own town. POGO operations that we now know are possibly connected to hacking and surveillance activities. All of us can easily deduce what this might imply. Baka sa mga nanood sa ating hearing, baka may magtanong pa kung totoong Pilipino nga ba si Mayor? Baka may magtanong kung she really has a stake in her town's economic development and if she really has a stake in our country's national interest. O baka pa nga sa mga tagapanood, may maghinala na baka naman interes ng ibang bansa ang patagon nilang isinusulong. And these are all serious questions we need clear answers to. But at least for now, isa ang maliwanag. Palayasin na ang mga POGO sa bansa. Kunin ko na rin ang oportunidad na manawagan kay Presidente na kung gusto nila talagang labanan ang mga krimen at banta sa ating pambansang seguridad, he will be well advised to ban POGOs now. And the committee awaits the SALN and SOSE of Mayor Alice Guo. Muli, marami pong salamat sa ating lahat ng mga resource persons for coming. Maraming salamat, Senator Sherwin. This hearing is suspended.